This is the fascinating star of nightclubs and the Broadway stage, charming Carol Channing.
Thank you. And this is my partner, Alan Ferguson from Kew, Australia.
Thank you.
This is the fine dramatic actor and star of the widely discussed motion picture Lolita, James Mason.
Hello, and this is Patricia Becker from New Orleans, Louisiana. How do you do? And we're all here to play Password.
I could have answered after the first ring.
Yeah, the suspense you're going for?
Well, I don't want you to feel as if it's coming to you.
That's okay. The audience thinks you answered after the first ring.
Why? Because you can control it to that degree?
Why, yes. It's called editing.
Wow.
It's called editing.
What do you mean it's called editing? Okay, sorry. Okay, I retract that last snarky, snotty, snitty answer.
Why, thank you. I think that'll get us off on a better foot.
Yes, it will. Shut up, both of us, and you stick it up your ass. No. You know what? You shove it up. Now, how about this commercial? You like this commercial? No. Why do they have that commercial, Josh? I know you know what I'm talking about.
I don't yet. I don't. I need one more clue.
Okay, no. It's about no. The whole thing is no. Don't say you don't. I think it's maybe for Hulu, and they have Matthew Perry from Friends going.
It's a bunch of clips from.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
So annoying. And I don't think you used to tell me that Friends was not only the greatest TV show, it was the greatest thing that ever happened, better than the moon landing. But I don't know if it holds up as good.
Well, I think you never embraced it as a lifestyle the way I did.
I used to love that bit Frank Conniff would do about I watch people, friends with the right demographics, and they're really my friends. It was very funny. I'm not doing it justice.
I hope not.
That was a good joke. I hope not is a good line.
Well, thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, thanks.
And people could say it's just 3 words. How could that be funny? Because you're the master. Okay, calm down.
Wow.
Calm down.
I'm calm.
I'm talking to myself.
Ah, okay. Should I call you guys back? What's going on?
No. We're okay. Hold on a second. I got to talk to him. Shut the fuck up. Hold on, Josh. Would you shut the fuck up? What are you talking about? You're the voice in my head. Yeah. So what? Shut the fuck up. Well, I'm better. I'm funnier than you are today. No, you're not. You fucking idiot. You're just being mean to Josh. Well, he's an asshole.
Finally, you came to some agreement.
Oh, I wish I could do characters. Characters welcome.
That's right.
What's that from?
That's, is that TNT?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. You know what would be a good game? If I named you each, I don't know the answer to this game, but if I named you each channel that has a weird theme now, there's about 7 of them, but like the easy one is, what is the travel channel most interested in now?
Food.
Haunted houses. Haunted. And you try and say, how do I get travel in there? And how did it start? Must have been one show took off, like Celebrity Haunting or.
That's how it goes. That's how it happens. They get one hit and then they chase it.
Like, yeah, I think like A&E or TLC has, like a bunch, like about 7 or 8 little people shows. The little people. Or they're big people. There's always, I'm not saying that's a gimmick. I'm just saying, take this part.
History Channel now has treasure hunter shows.
Oh, which one? Discovery, you said?
No, History Channel.
What's the Forged? Are they also doing the Forged in Fire, the History Channel?
I think that is History Channel, yes.
Yeah, who's watching that? People are watching like, steam fitters or something? What are fire? What's the fire?
They're making knives and blades.
Yeah, I could see making them, but watching people make them?
I don't know. You're watching people be horrible.
Oh, you mean don't start on 90 Day Fiancé. It's the best show. It's the best decision I ever made.
Notice I didn't specify a show. You came, one just popped into your head.
Well, it's my current thing. Is 90 Day Fiancé. I mean, I'm already over it, but.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm going, I think I'm worse. I'm getting worse. I think Susan and I both have decided that we're not getting worse, but you get that feeling like a week away from where if I nap, she'll try to eat me. One of those things.
Right, sure. Yeah, I don't have my, there's no tension rising between Allison and I, but I had like a very just random anxious day today.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Like there was no pinpoint source to it, but every aspect of life was making me unhappy and stressed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
You know,
I know you can't relate, but it's a thing I go through sometimes.
well, you mean, are you joking that I can't relate?
Yes, I am joking completely.
Oh, I can relate.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I took that in as, you'll like this, Ed, because you know how fucked up you are every day. Like, I took it like I'm really a screw up.
No, I took it as, you're no stranger to anxiety. So my story about it probably isn't going to make a big impact.
I told you a long time ago, if you ever need someone to call and you're having trouble, call me, but make sure the story has impact. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if
you're ever feeling anxious, Josh, give me a call and I'll tell you about what's wrong with me.
Yeah, I'll tell you how it relates to me, what I've done about it. But I was just throwing an idea about if the Donner Party, I don't know if they ate each other or not, but if their method they used was they did try to wait till each other were asleep, and they're like, "Stop! What did you say? You told me you weren't going to try and eat me. Just catching a little shut eye." All right, seemed funny to me, but it's cannibalism. It's funny.
I could swear you were a giant chicken leg.
You bet. That's what happens, they say. Have you ever read about this?
Yeah.
Oh, don't bother. No. Why would I want to eat your knee? Why would I want to nosh on your knee?
Because it looks like a ham bone.
Ham bone. I don't want. Why did they get? First of all, why did they get into that situation? And I know it requires me having to read the book about it.
Well, the Donner Pass is very high and snowy. I myself have gotten snowed out of the Donner Pass.
Isn't that like the worst? Talk about anxiety, right?
Yeah. Well, we didn't go. We got stuck in Reno waiting for a snowstorm to clear in the Donner Pass because we had to go to California from there.
Ooh. Oh, was this like a cinematic Titanic or previous life?
Yes, it was cinematic Titanic.
I'll tell you, it's almost like I'm Kreskin. How do I predict it? How did I pull that one? Well, Andy, I've been on that show, so it has to be either that or for my stand-up. Yeah, but still, I nailed it.
Yes.
That's what I think. Man. Well.
So I could see if I had a horse and wagon that day, it wouldn't have gone. Yeah. It wouldn't have gone as well.
Right. No, I'm not trying to put myself in the company of the Donner Party, but I have had some pretty weird experiences trying to get to giggles in Seattle. And it would have been like a bad way to die. It's not like Harry Chapin where everybody, knew him. All I care about is being dead, unknown.
The worst thing to happen to Donners was Superman 3. So
I don't even understand that. Why?
Richard Donner.
I kind of know that guy. Isn't he like an older looking guy? But he was younger. He was once younger looking.
Yeah, he used to be a younger looking guy now. I think you're right.
Yeah. I come up with so many of those. I come up with a couple a day about something horrible about a celebrity, but at least it was only COVID or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I thought it was along the lines of, I thought people were turning on Chris D'Elia's act, that kind of thing. I like to pile on when it's, make sure all the energy is going against the person and then pile on with something.
Well, yeah. Make sure it's all going against the person. Wait a week.
You can't get hurt.
Come in with the salt team for the wound.
Well, this thing online must be crazy because I didn't even get into what this was, but there are all these YouTube personalities, and there's apparently was this guy Shannon or Sean Green, not Sean, and he was friendly, I guess, with Will Smith and his family, and they found tapes of him saying terrible things about his kids. And I mean, this guy had like 20 million followers, and like, I think his career's over now. They find these horrible things that these people did.
Yeah, but I have to say that being a YouTube person isn't a career. That's not a career.
Well, that's the problem. That is the problem, is that you are setting yourself up for a problem if that's how you got famous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like Sarah Cooper, though, who does the woman who does the, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Her presidential lip syncing is quite entertaining.
When she goes, African Americans. You know, when it comes out of her mouth, his stuff sounds like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was thinking, like, imagine if you could see how people could go crazy with social networking and being Insta stars if they really had nothing going in.
Yeah, no, I mean,
nothing going in, but something.
No, I mean, there are people making shit tons of money about it, but it's a precarious, success is a precarious thing in that world, and frankly, I'm not rooting for any of them.
Well, it's like putting your all your eggs in the America's Got Talent basket, or, it's just going to be, I'm just going to do talent shows, and I'm just not going to, that's how I'm going to, I don't know, I think I've lost the thread of what I'm saying. You could probably say it better than I.
Well, I think it's a lot like, I think it's like MTV, which is, the way MTV looks at their marketing is we're 13 to 18. We aren't going to try to keep people past 18. We're not going to go. We're not going to go with them.
That's true.
We're going to bring in the new class of 13 to 18-year-olds.
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean that really. I mean, I've been told that's very much their model. And
right.
And I think it's got to be the same with YouTube celebrities. That it's just like, nope, out the door they go. And then just.
And talk about
and you may still have the followers, but I assume the views just start to crash at a certain point.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had brought in a whole story for you. But I mean, it's like, imagine you get up in the morning and you've got Jaden, is that his name, Jaden Pickett? And he's screaming at the guy. How would you say this about my sister, whose name is Willow or something? It's like, I think that, I mean, I've gotten a little glimpse of that myself when I've gotten off onto things, and you go, and my therapist will say, what is it you think what are you looking for it to happen?
Right.
But these people are different because they're looking for it to happen by fame to begin with. So they're already in murky waters.
Yeah, no, it's fame only.
Right.
And it's not a new observation, but it's become such an actual, it's not just the domain of a few freaks anymore. It's an actual sect of entertainment business now,
Also, there was, for a time period, I don't know if it's still happening, where people were like gamers I guess I'm sure there are. They're gamers for a living.
Yeah.
People watch them play games.
On Twitch, yeah.
Wow. And we'll be back with news from about 3 or 4 years ago. On the new segment, Andy gets excited about, have you heard about the Serpent Cowboy?
Andy Kindler's News in a Bottle.
News in a bottle. Have you played air hockey? This thing's pretty cool.
It's amazing. It floats on air.
It's amazing. So you just put the little puck down there?
I just found out that Gnip Gnop is ping pong backwards. That's amazing.
I wish that was true. I wish I had one fact like that. I think I do have one fact like that.
Yeah.
Like Serotan backwards is nature's, which I think is the weakest
I don't know what Serotan is.
Yeah, lucky. It's a thing. It's like a thing you would take, like a tonic you would take in the 50s or 60s.
Yeah.
And maybe I think it's probably like a
like Vegemita vitamin.
Yeah, it's like or a laxative. Maybe it's a laxative type of thing.
Yeah, probably it sounds like a laxative. That's why natural. Yeah. They like the word natural when it comes to bowel movements.
Right. And so at the end they go, and remember, Serotan spelled backwards is natures. And I would, as a kid, that would bother me. That doesn't spell, there is no, that's not a word, natures, without an apostrophe.
I bet it is, but
I bet it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't.
If you were to study the natures of various people's personality.
Yes, the natures. No, but they're basically saying it's natures.
I understand. I'm not really. Not really defending it so much as kind of trying to keep the conversation lively.
Well, let me ask you this: Would you buy this product? Buy Erutan, and remember, Erutan spelled backward is nature.
Nope.
No. That's right. So you would go with, but I think the problem would be the person who names it Serotan to begin with.
Right.
They can't say, if you say that back, I mean, they must have had a big.
They're like, hey, Sarah, you can't name this after yourself. What? It's my product. I'm Serotan. No. Women, Asian women? No. You know what? It's nature's spelled backwards, though.
Oh. Hey, why didn't you say so? Isn't that from The Wizard of Oz? Why didn't you say so?
That's a horse of a different color.
Do you know that just below the surface of you is someone very flamboyant?
I am like, yeah, I'm one layer of skin away from Rip Taylor.
And then, but you know what? Also, from your acting ability, Rip Torn, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Rip Torn.
Thank
you. Thank you for what you've done for the screen.
Have you gotten any feedback from the movie?
The only feedback I got so far was my brother watched it and he loved it. He enjoyed it, but no, I haven't been promoting it or doing anything. How about you?
No feedback, but I have been promoting it a bit.
Yeah, that's it. Oh my God. How do you know just the statement that will get under my skin? Not under my skin, but remind me of my own shortcomings. And when I say shortcomings, I don't mean just the fact that I'm, diminutive height-wise.
Well, I like to think of it as my jam.
Guess who's back open for business, my friend? Or they were briefly.
Who?
Jimmy O's. They're back.
Jimmy O's.
Hey, excuse me, can you get my keys? I can't reach them, but I want to go to Jimmy O's.
Come on in. The virus starts at 6 feet.
The nice thing that we found out to our customers is that the virus rises. Viruses rise.
That's right.
Oh, I love to make fun of myself. But what if I had been 2 inches shorter? I mean, you should see some of the photos I'm finding of myself.
Yeah.
I was adorable.
You were downright Muppet-like.
I'm finding. Oh, you know what I found? I meant to tell you. You didn't ask for it, but I found a reel-to-reel tape of my sister doing her songs up in Canada that I've heard like a couple times in my whole life, and I know they're amazing. So I can't wait to have them transferred.
Good.
Oh, and but I did get mad though because I had my own stuff that I made, and I put it on Maxell, and they have this they put this reel-to-reel, is named Shamrock.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of that company?
No, I have not.
So I'm afraid when I take it in, they're going to go, oh boy, if this has been recorded on a regular tape, quality tape. So.
Yeah, well, things do degrade over 40 years. Thank
you. Is that a metaphor?
If you want it to be.
I haven't had I still could play my VHS tapes I found when I am in the position to do it. What am I saying, Josh? Just tell me, Josh, tell the listeners I didn't feel well.
Andy isn't good tonight. I mean,
Thanks.
well, I meant well.
Yeah, you meant well. Right. Did you say that I was a little stupid tonight?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Do you know if you ever had to go out for a part where you had to convince the person that you weren't saying they were stupid? You couldn't do it now because
Really?
you're so bad at it.
I don't.
No!
I don't think that's true. I think.
You think you could pull the wool over my? What are those two things on?
How hard would it be
face?
to fool you?
Oh, I did it again.
Wow. You know what? We're out to shoot running.
We are.
How's the mic sound tonight? Is it okay?
Much better.
Yeah. I know what I'm doing.
That's good.
No, I don't. And you're witness to that. I do have a new mic, though, that I used once. I'm very excited about it with my new thing.
For your voiceover looping session?
For my voiceover. And now they say if you buy that mic, just sit back and the offers start coming in.
That's right.
I met people like that when I was trying to do voiceovers, where these people, like, all day long, they're like, at $7.95, it's the exact kind of cushion that your body will know and your pocketbook will love. And they do that all day, and they get some of them.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of voice.
Oh, I see.
Nobody has that kind of voice.
Sorry, I didn't quite track all the way from the
Why?
beginning.
Because I didn't actually say it in a coherent...
I can't even attest to that. I just lost it.
Hey, see? When you listen, when you're known that, and we would call you in the business a listener, right?
I'd like to think I have some skill.
Yeah. So you could just say you didn't hear. Me, I can't do that anymore. I cannot do that. I probably get caught 2-3 times a week with Susan trying to figure out what it was.
Just trying to.
Tell me again how the cushion. Oh, you didn't hear one goddamn thing I said. Oh, no, I did. I can't wait. I can't wait to get my sister's thing out, though. That'll be very nice for me.
Yeah.
I'll put it on Bandcamp or wherever we put it.
Where are you going to take it to?
The only people I know were these very nice people in Burbank who I kind of like friends of family. Do you have a place that you like to go?
I don't anymore. It's been a long time.
Yeah. Oh, I would love it if you went, Andy, come on over here. I'll get I had a reel-to-reel that I did use all of my childhood, and not all of my childhood, but I think I told you this. My friend and I would broadcast non-existent baseball games and record them.
Yes.
The top of the first inning at Shea Stadium. Well, we're playing two. The weather's nice. These guys are going to fake broadcast two today.
Double header. Wow.
Peter Tarr. I miss you, Peter Tarr.
How long? How many? What was your specialty call?
What do you mean?
I mean, every broadcaster has a signature.
Oh, we were actually would almost like do I'm Lindsey Nelson, I'm Ralph Kiner, I'm Bob Murphy. We would do the actual names of over to you, Ralph Kiner.
Gotcha.
What a boring, no, I mean, we were very nice kids, and I'm sure that it worked out fine for us.
All right.
But then, what else though, Josh? I look at these other tapes, I wonder what these other tapes are. I found 2 tapes, one of my old band and my sister. Then the other tapes I put in a Gata Davida on a reel-to-reel
Oh, nice.
I have 3 reel-to-reel tapes of albums I put on there.
Sure.
What's so good about that? What was I thinking? I got it now. Now I got it recorded.
Yeah, I don't know why people did that when it had to be, when you were playing it through your stereo system anyway.
Yeah.
I never quite understood that. Like, I got taping albums onto cassettes once, boom boxes and Walkmans came along.
Right.
But taping albums onto reel-to-reel, which a lot of people did.
I can't even believe that it's still the same. It's just so funny to me that, or maybe I borrowed my friends or something, and so
maybe it was his Iron Butterfly.
And Led Zeppelin. I had Led Zeppelin in there too.
Yeah, which one?
I don't remember. I have to go to the other room. I have to go to the other room and check it out. I know I'm sounding a little bit weird, but I've been feeling weird. So I think I'm sounding weird because I've been feeling weird. I think we're all feeling strange.
Yeah, things are just so fucking dark right now.
Well, especially when you hear, like, every 5 minutes they go, oh, by the way, up to 60 million people probably, it's going to be up to 50% of the people already have it, the COVID.
Yeah.
So what's your plan? I'm never going to get on a plane again I'm never going to go into a store. What's your plan? Are you a vaccine guy?
I'm definitely a vaccine guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I pretty much am planning on status quo for the most part for the foreseeable future.
What kind of money is in that?
There's no money in my status quo, but there wasn't money in my status quo, so.
You haven't noticed a change at all. Well, I'm going to have to bite the bullet.
It's definitely stressful to have no possibility of money.
Right.
I'm always living with that.
Yeah, that's not right. Oh, I know. I know that. I know that.
Thank God I've got a documentary coming out to save me.
Well, when is the documentary coming out?
July 10th, next week.
Oh, and I think you can get some buzz from something like that because people have to. That was what I was hoping. I still haven't found out how many things I sold, but I was hoping that people would be. You have more of a captive audience, so you can get more of a buzz going.
Yeah. Any buzz? Are you feeling the buzz?
I don't know why I said that. I sound like an old promoter. Look, Josh, we're going to get this going. All right. Everyone has to be home. No, that'll be our promotion.
The best thing I have going for me is that Michael has several million listeners on SiriusXM, and the rest of the SiriusXM family will be chipping in to promote the movie. So
he's he's a DJ there.
Yeah, he's the morning guy on Little Steven's Underground Garage.
Ah, because that's what got added. I know, now I remember it from the documentary. How come I know the thing from, you showed it to me, that's why.
Right.
You must have showed me his part.
I showed you the Little Steven thing.
Little Steven thing, yeah. And also Little Steven has a show too?
I think he does. But he has his own network.
Once you have your own network, you're not spinning. I knew what you meant. Those words have been changing for many years.
That's true.
Yeah. One day this will all be ours.
What will?
I don't know.
I watched The China Syndrome last night.
Oh, I've only watched that when it came out.
Me too, which I realized was in the theater when I was 8 years old with my parents who fucking took an 8-year-old to the China Syndrome.
That would be a little scary. Was it scary?
It's a little scary.
Yeah, that could be too young. And how does it hold up?
It was actually held up better than I thought it would. It was a pretty solid, kind of political thriller movie that also had a nice kind of local news commentary about it and a lot of sort of sexism that was noticeable but not super heavy-handed.
How do you mean? Like,
Jane Fonda played a local TV reporter.
Oh, okay.
And the sexism that is directed towards her is pervasive, but it's not super. It's not clumsy,
But it's not a comment on sexism, though.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it's part of the story?
Well, it's just part of the atmosphere.
Oh, okay. But I mean, like, they're not. In other words, the movie doesn't make you learn about sexism.
No, it does not.
On purpose.
No.
Right. As if the Johnny.
It's baked into her situation.
Yeah. I remember this one scene from the movie that I remember liking where early on in the movie, somebody complains about who's the protagonist. Is there a young guy? Oh, I think I'm mixing the two. I think I'm mixing up War Games.
Yeah, War Games is different.
But there's a scene where
War Games was. I think I talked about War Games a few weeks ago, didn't I?
You might have,
because it was just there's things about it that were just like absolutely that moment in time lined up to make that story.
Yeah,
but which was true of China Syndrome too, since 3 Mile Island happened while the movie was in release.
Oh, yeah, because I remember that we were. I mean, we only can talk about that as. I I always wonder how big a meltdown could, like Chernobyl, how could it have been as bad as it was? It could have been worse, right?
3 Mile Island.
And I know 3 Mile Island good, but even when you're watching Chernobyl, you get the feeling like.
I think it could have been worse, but I think it was pretty worst case scenario.
How much worse do you want?
Yeah. Do you want it closed for 80,000 years or just the 50,000?
Well, the one in Japan was bad too, right?
Yes, it was.
So,
but a lot of that washed out to sea. So now
I remember a
lot of that's on your sushi plate now.
Oh man, I really do think that we could be should get into a little prepping and a little survivalism, just a little bit.
A little bit like a can of tuna.
Well, no, I mean like we buy guns.
Oh, okay, sure. I'm in.
But just a couple of guns.
Should we do from Gold Belly again?
Oh, I did want to make the argument that I happen to love these bagels.
You like them better than the S's?
I can't say that. I think as well, maybe. Well, and what's your verdict on it?
I think they're a little more central casting bagel, I would say. The current ones. I
think that's why I probably might prefer them, but actually Essa might have more depth to them.
Essa has that chewiness that's pretty appealing.
Did you say Jewiness?
Both.
And the Zuckers, was this made by the Zucker brothers?
Potentially. Probably not the ones you're thinking of.
This could be one of the great traditions, though. Next time I try and tie, like when Phil Rosenthal does stuff, and he shows off, and then one of his what's that guy, Chuck Lorre, he buys a thing.
Yeah.
Except the less low level.
Yeah, well, I think we should try another place next time.
Okay. And do you remember the episode of MASH? I love this episode where they order
Adam's Ribs.
What's that? Yes.
Adam's Ribs from Chicago.
Yes, and it was an actual place.
Dearborn 57500, I believe, was the.
And was it a real place or was a takeoff on a place?
I think it was a fake place.
Oh, that was so good, though.
Yeah.
I really must have been. I wonder if I was young enough. When did that show come out? In the 70s? I wonder if I was young enough.
Yeah, it was like 72 to 82.
I think I was young enough that I really I fell in love with it.
I did too, absolutely.
And
I also just saw it was on a lot.
Oh yeah.
It was it would be on at like 5 and 10, or 5 and 11 or what, it had 2 slots a day for a long time in our market.
Well, the Colonel Blake, Colonel Blake, he left. And I don't remember that episode. I know it was popular, but do you remember at the end of the episode did they mention how he died?
It's kind of a sad story, Andy. I don't know if I can put you through it again.
I wouldn't mind hearing it.
Radar, put a mask on. I just got this from I-Corps.
I'm making surgery sounds.
A plane carrying Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake was shot down over the Sea of Japan. It spun in. There were no survivors.
Stat. Get me a thing. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. It almost made me feel like I was back there. And how many people watched that night? Those were the days where you could get 200 million Americans would watch that.
Yes, 200 million Americans for just any given episode.
They watched that in the last episode of Cheers. Those were the days.
The funny thing is there was no reason to kill off Henry Blake.
I know. Why couldn't he go stateside?
Yeah, he left the show.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
It was just vindictive, I think.
Hey, what would be good? We get that guy who played Henry Blake, but he died. We can't get him for our show.
That's right.
No, that was just a plot. Seems dead to me.
Yeah, he's dead to me.
Oh, boy. Hey, this was a pretty good Monday. I know you're saying it's not over yet, and I'm just saying I'm not saying it's over either.
I'm not saying it's not over.
People are scared of it.
They're scared of it.
Yep. That's how.
I'm not scared of it. In fact, I want something even hotter than you can get down here at Grand Central Market. I'm leaving all these wimpy chili peppers behind. We're going in search of a hot chili pepper, and I know where to go find that, and it's not anywhere near Grand Central Market. In fact, it's in a friend of mine's backyard. Here we go.
Good evening.
And good evening to you, sir.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I haven't had a terrible couple of days. I mean, not like terrible, like I died or someone died, but just a bad.
Right up to that.
Well, I'm actually working tomorrow, so that's great. But I'm so nervous. But I'm doing this thing for Comedy Central where you describe pitch meetings.
Oh yeah.
And Susan's going to shoot. No one's coming here. Susan's going to shoot it with her thing. But I just started to get this nervousness about it, just unreasonable nervousness, and then the vomiting returned a couple of nights ago.
Really?
Yeah, and then all day today, I was just in that state where, I mean, I've talked about it in therapy. It's all a version of what if I don't feel so good. What if it's COVID? What if my wife dies from COVID? I mean, it's and I stop a lot of them. I stop a lot of rabbit holes, but then it just leaves me kind of depressed. And I've been I just came out of it before the show, but I was up until 8 o'clock, and I haven't been getting sleep that much either.
Yeah.
And then I was wondering, and then I started to say to myself, this is true too. I mean, I'm not worried about this, but I go, what if this doesn't get better? And what if I go crazy? It's and I feel like if you're going to go crazy, you probably don't say you're going to go crazy. It's I worry that the worrying is never going to end.
Right.
And it feels a little bit like back in New York before my mom and dad, sister died, but not as bad. And then it just kind of went away. So that's a good thing that it goes away.
Yeah, going away is good. I mean, I think, the worrying itself is probably never going to go away because you're wired for a worry. But the skills that you've gained is, like you said, is you can pull yourself out of the rabbit hole before your feet disappear,
Yeah, right before it closes in on you. Yeah, but the thing was Susan was doing all these great things, getting ready for this shoot, and basically has to have a kind of a neutral background. But I found I couldn't help really, and I was getting grouchy, and it seemed like the old me. But I just think what do you mean the old me? I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There is no old me, except I think the old me was not relating to what was going on with me a lot of the time. So I just got propelled by the energy of the
well, I think it's time to admit you have some very strong form of stage fright as well.
Yeah, even though you wouldn't think that it is a stage fright because it's not classically, but it is. It is. You're absolutely right.
It's event fright.
Yes, it's event fright. I love that. It's so true. It's so true because, even last night, at 7 o'clock, I go, I don't have to do the show. Okay, so now I don't have to worry about not doing the show. And then 20 minutes later, it gets replaced by another event fright.
Right.
Do you have any of that?
Well, it's funny you should mention it. The last couple of days, I had crushing anxiety yesterday.
What was it? Just general stuff?
It was general stuff. I mean, I really can't, I can't. I mean, I woke up at 4 a.m, bolted awake, worrying about the leak in my pool filter. And even knowing at the time, that's not what's really bothering me. But it's that became the center of my universe. And it's not a big deal. It's just not,
Right. But yeah.
But I think as I was saying to Allison, it's there is that even though I've been worried about money, I've been worried about career, I've always felt the next thing will happen,
Right.
But there is this sort of subliminal voice now. When I say it out loud to myself, I can still go, no, the next thing will happen. But there is a louder subliminal voice going, no, nothing could ever happen again for you, And,
right, yeah.
And that, it becomes a sort of existential voice, a fear in your, but I don't know. It was most of yesterday I felt it, and then I felt better, and today I'm all right, but it's some of it you have to just go, well, yeah, the world is the most fucked it's been in our lifetime, and in many,
That's, yeah. It's upping everybody's nightmare.
Yeah.
No matter what your stasis point, whatever the word is,
right.
Whatever your normal point is.
So, but that's, when you're in it, that doesn't help you at all.
Well, when I was in it today, and that didn't help you yesterday, right? Because you were trying to use your calming voice was saying, your calming voice was not there, really.
Right.
It was your calming voice probably saying, "Look, I'm calmly telling you, there could be no way out for all of us." You know?
And it really manifested itself as like yesterday. I just felt it was a depression. I felt like Walking Dead yesterday, kind of.
How's Allison when that? Is she good with you?
Oh yeah, she's okay. I mean, we can go a lot of the day without interacting, and without it,
right.
Not like we're icing each other, but
But I mean, does she help? Do you like to talk about it?
I don't usually. No,
yeah,
I don't. Like I talk about it enough to go, this is what's going on.
Right.
I'm not mad. I'm not, but this is what's happening right now. So if I'm off my game, that's why,
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Of course she's understanding but I'm not into, I don't like suggestions. So I don't, I bristle at advice. So I'm not generally looking for it.
Why do you think you bristle at advice?
Because of my giant ego that can't get past, the thinking you got getting everything handled,
Well, it was so weird because I was talking with Bruce Hills, the guy who runs Montreal, and he was trying to talk about because he said, "Oh, I wanted to." It was very nice. I wanted to call you back and see how you're doing about your mom and sister. And then I said, "Well, how's everything going in Montreal?" And then he started explaining to me how, even though Canada has great health systems, they don't really. And I've seen this on documentaries about Canada. They're not very good with old people. Neither are we good with old people. But there's not a lot of funds for old people. So many people were dying in these nursing homes and stuff. And so then he started telling me about how. And I said, "Well, I'm not going near anybody, and I'm not going near anybody till after this is all over." He goes, "Well, I'm the same way. I wash my hands. I wash my credit cards when I get home." But then he said, "I was at this event." And he wasn't telling me the whole thing, but I think someone hugged him, and you know what I mean? It was one of these things where he can't get it out of his mind. And I realized, it's like I've never even heard him this way, but he's just he is super stressed out.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is like, this is like forced OCD for everybody,
Yeah, take a nice walk. But the other thing is, we all think we have problems, and we all do have problems. But it's just like he's the head of this festival.
Right.
So in other words, it's like these things, as in the movie Midnight Run, Charles Grodin said to De Niro when to avoid going on the airplane, "These things go down. These things go down."
Right.
And I think he's got to be thinking, how many businesses have already closed that aren't coming back? It's so weird because how do you keep things open? And of course, that's beyond my ken.
Right. No, there's going to be an unbelievable amount of businesses that aren't going to be around.
And food instability. I don't like when I hear food instability. Like A. Whitney Brown, who I love when he tweets. But it's like I retweeted what he said, but it's like, oh my God, food instability. That starts to get me into the prepper survivalist mode.
Yeah.
But thankfully, we have a good federal system.
Yeah, I mean, luckily, as long as it's solid at the top, we'll be fine.
But the fish stinks from the head down. And in our case, we have such a great head. Our fish head is really healthy. That guy's got some gills. Even a live fish, he's getting more and more crazy too. I mean, more and more. He's like, "It's going to go away. It's going to go away." I can't watch anything. I try not to. I don't know about you, but I try not to watch, but I do watch a little.
No, I watch a lot, and I try not to watch. Because there's nothing else. There's nothing else to do.
Yeah, I know that's the thing. That is the thing. There's nothing. I mean, I have it down though. Like you'll never see me watching Katie Tur or Chuck Todd. I switch right over to Wolf when I can. And Wolf, if you don't watch Wolf that much, he's pretty damn good. He's not damn good. I apologize for saying that.
No, he's really not.
He's not.
But he does.
He's in this.
But there's that he's been there for 30 years thing about Wolf.
And he does have that he does have that I'm in the situation room kind of feel.
I'm Wolf Blitzer and I'm in charge because there's many televisions behind me.
And is there always breaking news? Always breaking news.
I looked up at my TV right now, breaking news.
Let's go to Jim Sciutto. You know who I do like? Let's see if you're an addict like me to both of I'm not so much with CNN, but I like this Laura Coates.
I don't know Laura Coates.
She's taking over for Don Lehman. I pronounce it Don Lehman.
Why do you?
The last 2 nights.
Why? Because you're like Trump.
Because I try to get laughs where there are none.
Yeah, yeah.
It makes me laugh.
You can squeeze that Lehman all you want. You're not getting juice.
I'm jotting that down. I'm jotting down your tag. Well, some of them are like, it's more fun to say, for years, say Jay Leno. I don't know about that Jay Leno, because that's kind of like dismissing him.
Right.
But Don Lehman, you wouldn't pronounce it Lehman.
No.
So it's just it's just me getting out my anger. Not my anger. I don't have anger. Have you noticed that I'm kind of an easygoing guy? Don't let things get to me.
I did notice that when you were asleep.
Yeah. That's my grandfather. You know that's my grandfather's line, right?
No.
He says you're a good kid when you're sleeping.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I stole from your grandpa.
And then he used to say, hey, what are you going to get me for your birthday? That was his classic.
That is a classic.
And he stinks on ice. He stinks on ice. And when you take away the ice stinks.
That's a Kindler. That sounds like a Kindler.
That's very strange. But otherwise, everything's cool.
Yeah.
And you can't watch sports. I mean, I know you were telling me you like to watch the 1939 or the 1962 fifth game of the World Series.
Yeah, I have not watched.
I can't watch it.
I have not watched any repeat sports, but I've watched some sports docs.
Those are so great. 60 ESPN 30s? 30 for 30.
Yeah.
Why do they call them 30 for 30? You probably know and don't want to tell me. It's like asking someone what a sig alert means. If you don't know by now, you shouldn't have to ask.
All right. You do know that, though, right?
No, what does it mean?
There was a dude named Sig.
Oh, no, the Sig, I do. No, the 30 for 30.
30 for 30, I don't know.
Yeah, Sig is named after the guy Sig for an unplanned lane closure. And the first couple of times you tell people who don't know it, they're kind of impressed.
Yeah, someone read the last page of the AAA magazine.
Are you old enough that you ever had a triptych where you were going to go on a trip?
Yes, we did. We did do a triptych trip once as a kid.
That's so good. It's like almost. I don't think maybe you could have thought the Earth was flat.
It's the slowest scroll.
Isn't trip now? I don't want to say anything negative to AAA. I used to think AAA was like a non-profit for the government to help everybody with their towing. I think they're just a cheesy outfit.
I think they do more good than harm. AAA.
Yeah, I agree with you because I have it. AAA. Yeah. But their insurance is not cheaper.
I bet it's competitive.
Okay. Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
Do that 40. Do the 40. Do the same. Oh, it's the save 40%. Save 40% guy. Is it? Oh, you're the guy.
It's him. That's really him.
I am so bored that I actually am entertained by that one guy who says to his girlfriend, "It is him."
The guy at the table.
I actually find his joy infectious for 1 second.
It's good. It's a nice little piece of ad acting.
But the guy who's the lead, I like him, but he doesn't seem like he's comfortable. He never seems completely comfortable with the campaign.
Dennis Hastert, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, he's good when he goes, when he's just saying you're in good hands and that stuff. But when he has to act like he's in a movie and the guy's breaking character and tell him how much he loves him, maybe I'm reading into it.
I think he might be. I think he's just playing it cool. I think he's being a passive. He's like, hey, I represent a company here. This is this character's motivation, I'm saying.
Oh, I see. So I'm going to have a certain amount of dignity for the role.
Exactly.
Well, now you know my hero.
When people are freaking out about me being in the restaurant, I'm going to play it cool because I'm a face of Allstate or whatever the fuck.
See? That's it. That's the kind of internal dialogue a real actor has that I can't do. Now, you know what? Now, here's another thing I want to tell you. I love Joe Willing. I love Joe Namath. You don't have to love him like I do, but I grew up loving him, my hero.
Yeah.
And I'm not against him.
I'll say I barely love him at all, really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're not a Jets fan. But when he says in that commercial, I don't know what the commercial's for, supplemental medical insurance.
Yeah.
I don't begrudge him, but is he broke?
I would think he's broke, and I think
he's broke.
I'm not altogether convinced he's not doing that commercial at gunpoint, however.
Well, but I keep thinking, well, no, he played. I remember he got like $1 million 5-year deal or something. I mean, so he wasn't even around for the big money, I don't think.
No.
But he must have gotten endorsed, and his movie acting is good.
Yeah. And it all peaked in 1973.
But why is it as a person that I worry about? Look, I love Joe Namath. He's my hero. But why am I worried about him?
You shouldn't worry about him. You should not worry about Joe Namath.
Okay. But I didn't want him to die either. I didn't want Dylan to die. I don't want my heroes to die.
What about Carl Reiner? He went and died.
I know. That really, for some reason, I've been thinking about him a lot and thinking that he might die. And I just love his tweets and I love everything about him.
Yeah.
But when he actually died, I actually felt like he lived a long life. You know what I mean? I didn't have as much.
Was it the 98 years that made you feel that way?
That's what gave me a clue.
No, I mean, part of why he was one of my heroes for much of my adult life is he lived a good life.
Yes.
Yes. And so when you live a good life and you die at 98, people go, he lived a good life, Well,
he also, here's the thing.
Maybe I don't know how you do a life better than his, really.
Yeah. Yeah. And this decision.
If you're at 98 and you can still fucking do a rage tweet against Trump the day you die and had dinner with Mel Brooks the night before.
Is that what happened?
You did good.
I didn't know he had dinner the night before.
Well, there was Mel Brooks' birthday was 2 days before, and there was a picture of them together. So,
because he comes, they come.
I
Mel Brooks
know,
comes over his house
Everyone knows.
Well, did you see that I haven't seen that documentary that I do want to see, which is called if you wake up in the morning and you don't see your name in the obituaries, go have breakfast.
Right.
You don't want to watch it, I can tell.
No, it's about nonagenarians.
That's why I should watch it, because it could make me feel good.
It could. It'd make you feel young, at least.
At least. Never end sentence with at least. Yeah, he really did live it up.
So how long is your thing you're doing?
Oh, okay. So what it is I did another one by the same people. It was called Tales from the Trip, where I talked about the time that did you ever see that? I talked about the time I took mushrooms with it's a true story. I think I told the story where I took mushrooms with Susan and we freaked out and we thought we were going to die. And at the end, we ended up watching Yule Hauser on TV.
Yeah.
He calmed us down. So, I did that and it was about 5 minutes long and the talking part. So it's like you talk and then they animate the story.
Right.
So I'll be talking into the camera. I did this pitch. I did that pitch. So it probably will last a couple of hours tomorrow, but they were pretty quick when I did it last time, but we're doing the filming, so could be like, who knows?
A lot of extra takes.
Well, that's definitely true. That's why I but did not enjoy. When I used to go in to do voiceover auditions, it wasn't so bad because I like direction, but when you have to like sit in a room and say $6.95 at Walgreens, you don't know if it's good, and you spent like a half a day doing it.
Right.
You didn't, because you were smart enough to go, I don't think the numbers don't look good here. 55,000 people saying, buy it today and save.
Yeah, I don't feel like I have the inside track for a thing like that, really.
You don't have the Mason Williams magic?
I don't. But I do have some classical gas.
I hate that name of that song. I hate that gas is like. I hate that gas ever had a positive connotation. Like it's a gas.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Well, that makes you weird. More than
I
right.
know. You know, I have issues. I have issues with the bathroom.
Yes, I know.
Well, you haven't been in there. Ah, funny. I did a funny joke.
Don't go in there.
That's one of my least favorite lines in the history
I know.
of show
Of course
business.
it would be.
And you're not even saying it right.
Because it's implied. There's so much implied.
He says, "Do not go in there." Did you hang up on me?
No, I mean, just mentally.
Oh, man. You know who else is pretty old, who's still going? Dick Van Dyke's got to be over 90 years old, too, I think.
Yeah. He's an alta-cocker.
Have you ever seen clips of him dancing, like in stores? It's so great.
Yeah, he's one of those. He's a showy oldie.
Josh, what are you going to do when you get to those ages? What are you not going to be? Are you going to be a showy oldie?
I'm not. I'm going to keep my light under a bushel.
You know, I'm going to be the oldie complainy head. That's going to be me. The soup. Something's wrong with the soup. Without the joke part.
Wait, my soup is wet.
Do you have any soup that's somewhat drier? I thought I was going to be, my image of me is going to be that I'm going to be a delightful old man. But then I realized I already am an old man, and I'm not that delightful.
Well, you can grow. You can expand into the delightfulness.
Well, my worst trait is my, what's it called when you think you're sick but you're not?
Hypochondria.
Yeah. That's me. That's my worst trait.
Yeah.
Well, also my fact
I don't think it is.
I know what you're going to say, right?
No, I don't.
You're going to say it's my non-functioning penis. That's what you were going to say.
No, I'm fond of that.
Would you say that my worst trait is my intelligence? Are you saying that I'm a little bit shy in the intelligence department?
No.
But if I wasn't bright, I wouldn't know I wasn't bright. So I could be fooling myself.
That's right. Just like if you were going crazy, you can't go crazy if you think you're going crazy.
Well, I think that theory has not been researched. I don't think I read that from an Edgar Allan Poe story.
If you think you're going stupid, you must not be.
True. Please don't say that. Please don't use the word stupid again. Please. Even in passing. I would prefer. But here's my theory about Carl Reiner, and it may not be true. But when the Carl Reiner said, I would let Dick Van Dyke, I'll go with Sheldon Leonard or whatever. Or they said they wouldn't make the show without him. I have a feeling he didn't say, I'm taking my ball and go home. I think he was probably, I don't know if he was okay with it. But I feel like he had less ego.
What are you talking about?
Oh.
Are you talking about
Dick Van Dyke?
Yeah, but Carl Reiner's version of the pilot didn't get picked up.
No. But did they say we will pick it up if you recast it, or?
No, he said, let's do it again. I mean, Sheldon Leonard said, let's do it with a good lead.
You know? Right. But he couldn't, but Carl Reiner, I guess Carl Reiner couldn't have said, now. But I mean, I got the feeling he wasn't egomaniacal.
I don't think he was, no.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I think he was a comedy facilitator in every way, it seems like.
Yesterday on TV, they were showing what looked like him in the pilot. I've never seen that. Him in the Dick Van Dyke pilot.
Yeah. And the head
have you seen it?
Head of the house or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Oh, and he wasn't, was it funny at all?
It was a fully different cast, too.
Oh, it's amazing. That's why I think there's so much, I hate to use the word magic, but there's like a magic to it when it all comes together. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I had no better add
well, I didn't have much going in. Hard to add to nothing.
Yep, magic.
Nothing plus nothing, leave nothing. Oh, you gotta have something if you want to make a comment. Uh-oh, my voice. I'm worried about my voice.
Oh, stop it.
Good. See, this is the thing. The "oh, stop it" is really the worst. It really is there was a guy who went on Mark Maron's show, and he had tried to commit suicide a couple of times. I can't remember his name. It was like a fascinating story. But he was saying it got to the point in his life when nobody wanted to talk to him because all he kept saying was, I'm depressed, I'm depressed, I'm depressed. So I know that after a while, when the hypochondriac asked for the 15th time, does he have cancer? People say, oh, stop it.
Yeah.
I had no story there either, so I'm glad.
So are you saying that's damaging of those of us who say, oh, stop it?
No. What's damaging is depression that sometimes no matter what you do, and I haven't had full depression, but it seems like no matter what you do, you can't stop it.
Yeah, and oh, stop it is not a good note for depression.
No, it's good for OCD, though.
Yeah, I think it is. But because that's about thought stopping.
Yes. No, you're right. Snap out of it. You haven't eaten for 2 weeks. Eat something. Because that Gary Goldman thing,
I didn't want my mouth to be full in case you called.
Is that a line from something?
Yeah, it's a Jewish mother joke.
Oh, let me hear it.
Mom, how are you? I'm okay. I'm starving though. I haven't eaten in a month. Why haven't you eaten in a month? That's a crazy, Mom. There's food in the house. I know, but I didn't want my mouth to be full in case you called.
Oh, my God. Oh, that's so great. That reminds me of something my mom said about a year ago. She goes, a friend of mine's son, or whoever it was, calls her every day. She had a little bit of that. She could sling that pretty good.
Yeah.
But not now. She can't come back. She can't get me now, Josh. She can't hurt me from the grave.
My mom never got, and she would have. My mom never got old enough for that third stage Jewish guilt that comes at about 75. That where you just stop giving a fuck because your feelings are the most important thing in the universe.
It's true. But, when my mom was when she was 90 and she was like really annoying me with the, I'm saying this the wrong way, but she's not going to hear this.
She's
right?
Not, probably not.
Okay. No, but she really was, for a few days, she was saying, tell Robert to get one of his Park Avenue doctors to come over here and give me a suicide pill. Right?
Yeah.
And she wouldn't get off it. And a couple of times she called the police. She called the police because she was like reacting to the Parkinson's. She called the police because she didn't realize that she couldn't move her body. She called the police because she wanted to get out of a chair. I just want someone to get me out of this chair.
Yeah.
So sometimes she would say it so much that it wasn't that it was annoying, but it was like it was tiring. And then I realized, well, she's in a lot of pain and it makes a lot of sense with what she has that she's acting this way.
Right. So compassion is what you discovered.
Well, compassion, I think that I am very, very proud of myself in the sense that, when my mom was...
Sorry, I almost hung up. Just because it would have been so mean. But sorry.
I'm crying. I'm starting to cry. You son of a bitch. I could have got a good weeping going. You are a horrible man. A horrible, disgusting man. Oh.
The thing that you're proud about is what you're saying.
That I was very compassionate with my... I was very compassionate with my mom. When I went there towards the end, and so I'm proud of myself with that.
That's good. No, I mean you were a good son. I mean, I from an observer standpoint, I think you were a very good son in that situation.
And I would hope that I mean, I know you're going to be needling me, but I would hope that those around me would be nice to me. But it was just like, and I said to my therapist said. I said to my therapist, I said, I can't stop, I know to avoid rabbit holes, but I do keep saying, did I love my sister enough? And and then she said, you loved your sister enough. I mean, it's just, like the way she was able to say it, for that moment, I was able to let it go for a little one, for a bit. But the whole idea, and you've dealt with this in your own family, but the whole idea, like my sister in a lot of ways was my hero, and she was my parent because she was 5 years older than me. She was kind of like my mom, and so if she was upset with me, it would be horrible.
Yeah, but she also doesn't seem like she was the person who would not let you know very quickly that she was upset with you.
Right, she let me know. Yeah, she would. Yeah. What does that mean? I don't get that.
I mean, you don't have to like sit there wondering because it seems like she's the kind of person who told you exactly how she fucking felt at the time. Right,
but like when she would get mad, like when she was having arguments in the family, she would get so mad. And the thing I'm learning in therapy that is so important is like that does not make these people defective people, or it doesn't make me a defective person. That I've been out of control in my life. And we did not get that lesson at all. I mean, we got the exact opposite lesson. Like, you are going to maybe not survive today if you're not, we'll put you in your room for 9 hours until you change your attitude. You know? So.
Well, you survived it, and that's impressive.
Some people could say. Not so good. Yeah, I forgot what I literally forgot what I was just saying. Do you know what I was just saying?
You were talking about.
Behavior means defines you, and
yeah.
Yeah, because see, my sister's rage would get me. She could get angry more than anybody. Would get me so like angry at her sometimes, and I realized the ability not to accept people's whatever you want to call them is the same thing you won't accept in yourself. And it just never ends until you can show compassion and you can embrace, as opposed to going down the road of, I didn't love her enough, I couldn't have loved her enough, or whatever the thing it is. And so the compassion really is like for yourself and for others is such a main thing.
Well, yeah, and bludgeoning yourself with unanswerable questions is never going to be a healthy exercise,
But it's a good horror movie.
Pretty much, you bludgeon with anything, you got to start with a good horror movie.
I'm afraid I don't want to. If I get killed, I don't want to be bludgeoned. I don't like that.
Well, maybe get one of your Park Avenue doctors to give you a suicide pill to carry around.
Just get me. I want the police. What do you want them for, Mom? I just want someone to get me out of this chair. My mom was funny.
It's a reasonable request.
And and I'll tell you something, the idea of humor and saving my family and saving the world, my mom could laugh it up. I mean, when she would laugh, even like the last couple of days of her life, when she laughed, it was so relieving for her.
Yeah.
Maybe she liked my material too.
I think it was the drugs.
I'm telling you, nobody's quicker than you. There isn't a person in the world. If you could make $1 billion on the quickness of your mind coming up with a joke.
You'd think there'd be a place for me.
Well, you know what it is though? It is amazing. It is kind of a magical thing in terms of how fast it comes.
Well, thank you. I don't know what to say. Ironically, I don't know what to say to that.
Well, what are you going to do? Are you going to say, yes, I am? I'm pretty damn great, Andy. Pretty damn great.
I'm special, all right.
I agree with that assessment. Oh, boy. But I feel better talking to you. That's not so bad.
Well, that's a good thing.
People said, what are you talking about? You're saying doing your podcast cheers you up? Oh, I did have that insight the other day, and I don't know if it's going to stick. And you probably think the insight should have come sooner. Maybe I had last week, but the insight was, if my goal is to try to have a good time on the phone calls, and then the podcast, not like a phony good time,
right?
But like try to go, okay. So it's not like I have to think of the answer to you or what you're saying, but it helps me be more present in a way.
Yeah.
And I know it won't always work.
No, but that's a good buzzword.
Yeah. No, but it's like, a lot of times I would be like...
It's a good mantra, I would say.
Yeah, and early on I would be saying, I know what I know that it's frustrating because I'm not listening so much, and then I'm saying that I'm not. And so, how do I do it? How do I have a good conversation? And I think that was a mistake. It wasn't about how do you have a good conversation. Right. It's more like how do you have a nice time? How do you enjoy yourself for 20 minutes? Is that so hard? Sometimes it has been.
Well, it's less daunting.
In my life.
Now that it's smaller bites, hopefully it's less daunting.
Did you? How do you look when you think of like we used to do the podcast in one shot, which we hope to do again? Did you look forward to it, or just depending, or that's not how you look at things?
It was week to week. Some weeks I was like, all right. Some weeks I was like, oh. So
right.
I think that expresses it about as deeply as I went. Like,
and so sometimes
it was either or.
Well, sometimes I think about you and like because it's been different now, but I think about you waiting for me to come over and like if you're in a bad mood and you're okay, and now it's not 8 o'clock, it's even not 8, it's 8:05, right? So, and you go, so my image is of you going, you again.
No, but I will say that I'm glad we've gone to the 3 nights instead of the 5 nights.
That was hard.
The 5 nights was getting a little jobby.
Yeah. Yes. Well, because you're the only person in the podcast who has actual work. I could be doing more work, but you have the actual hard work.
Yeah, I have the most work, I would say. But then our friend Alex, who I'm segueing to on purpose, got a job in New York and is moving to New York in 2 weeks.
Oh, what's he doing?
He's working at a management firm that we won't mention.
Oh, okay.
Or that we won't name. It's not like it's dirty. I just don't want to get him in trouble. Yeah.
Right. And is he excited about it?
He is, yeah.
Oh, this is good. Do you think he never liked LA much, or he just felt? Do you think he's like one of these New York? Like a lot of people I know grew up in New York and they can't leave. I couldn't wait to get out.
No, I think I think especially since quarantine happened, it's been him doing time. But I think there was, he was doing a sort of entry-level internee kind of job that I think he had to sort of get through more than L.A., baby!
L.A., baby!
So, but it worked out. It got him a job in New York where he wants to be, and congratulations to our boy Alex.
Did you say you got him the job?
No, I said it.
Oh.
I said it got him the job.
Because I didn't know you were a headhunter. He should do very well. He should do very well whatever he does because he loves comedy. He loves what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have any ADD problems is the good thing.
That is a good thing. I've been realizing lately just about, how the audio dyslexia factor of ADD affects me.
And how do you mean?
I mean, like if there's 2 conversations going on, they both cancel each other out for me. Like the words just jumble up. We had a couple of people here yesterday, and there was a crosstalk, and it reminded me of like, oh right, that's why I got social anxiety. That's why I hate fucking parties, is because it scrambles my brain. Man, yeah. But does like Susan has lived her whole life with me basically saying, what'd you say? What'd you say? Yeah.
I mean, do you hear you don't have that kind of ADD. You don't, because you hear what I say. So that's not what your ADD is, really.
No, I mean, I can
focus fine.
I can focus on one person fine, but if there was somebody else talking, having a separate conversation,
yeah,
it's virtually impossible for me to stay on track with listening to what you're saying.
Well, that's how you can see how parties are so hard, even, they're hard.
Yeah, it took me a long time, though, to figure out that, and having read more about it now, and that a lot of people have that symptom, it kind of, hearing other people describe it makes more sense.
Oh, I never realized that it was
but it wasn't something that I really put my finger on until probably the last 10 years.
Does that mean that you have trouble with Robert Altman movies?
I do.
And so I think maybe you told me that before, so I can't say I discovered it. Maybe you mentioned that.
Yeah, no, I really do. I do, because that crosstalk, my ear will pull into everything happening in that room.
It's so interesting. This is a story that it may not interest you, and I'll keep it short for that reason. But there's a guy. His name was Alan Garfield. He recently died. Actually,
Yeah,
he recently died from.
There was no one better at being furious in movies than Alan Garfield.
And he died. I think he died from COVID recently. Sadly, he wasn't very, very, very super old like me. And he one time Phil did a screening of Nashville, and after it, this guy went off. He was so angry. He said that he felt betrayed by Robert Altman because he added the part about the assassination was not in the script. And he added it, and it totally changed the movie, and he almost walked off the set. And at the time when I was there at Phil's house, I was like, it sounds like maybe Robert Altman was going by the seat of his pants, and this guy couldn't swing with his thing. But then I'm listening to that Polly Platt. You must remember this about Polly Platt.
Yeah.
And Polly Platt said that Robert Altman called them over because he was watching the Nixon trials or he was watching something. And he said, we have to add an assassination to the movie. And Polly Platt tried to talk him out of it. And she said it actually, for her, ruined the movie. And I think she even left the movie over it. But it was like so interesting that for all those couple of years, I was like, on the Robert Altman side, because he's an artist, so He must know what he's doing, and he does to some degree. But in this case, it really does seem like some of his seat of the pants stuff was a little nutty.
Yeah, well, it's when you're the thing about directors like that is it's just like you can cause chaos. It's just
right.
You look at Apocalypse Now and that the making of that is just like, it's one thing for your own personal angst as a director going, what am I shooting tomorrow? But you have 12 departments waiting for you to make that decision too.
Wow. Yeah. And he never storyboarded and stuff. Is that the deal or?
I don't know. I never dove into Altman all that much because I don't really love Altman.
No, I mean Coppola.
Oh, Coppola. Yeah, Coppola was just like, he was working without a script basically, and I don't understand. Yeah. I don't understand how you do that. I don't understand how that happens. Even that, before you go off to fucking the Philippines, you don't have shit pretty locked in.
I know, and it must be like a nightmare. I mean, you have to. I mean,
things always change, and you always have to make changes on set, and you lose a location, and sometimes you have to fold stuff into a scene. Stuff happens all the time. But if you don't, it's with Apocalypse Now, it seems like he just didn't know what the movie was.
And I still think it's like one of my favorite movies. Do you think it holds up or not as much?
It's not one of my favorite movies because it's just too meandering, but there's so much great stuff in it.
I saw it in the movie theater too, and I really have to re-examine movies that I saw when I was coming up, and just also when I was younger, I always filled in the blanks. Like I felt like they must know what they're doing, So this is not just a obscure reference to Joseph Conrad. This makes total sense. So it was almost like if I loved the director and I loved it, I would so much give into the movie, which wasn't a bad idea. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But
no, if any piece of art that you can give yourself over to has something going for it.
I think it's an example of me putting people on a pedestal in general.
That may be. You do tend to be all in on people.
Yeah. And it's like, it's just what I said earlier. Either people are defective or they're not, or they're good people. It's the same. It's like I had such judgmental parents. I was so judgmental that it wouldn't be where most people go, oh yeah, he had many different sides to him. It's just taken me for example, I'll give you maybe this is an example that doesn't make much sense, but I can't watch that Michael Jackson documentary. And I can't in a way reconcile that he could have been this other person and wrote the greatest songs in the world. And I know that doesn't make there's no logic to that feeling. It's just, I want him to have been a better person, Yeah.
But
it's so weird. It's like, it blocks me from life in many, many ways. Like, oh, someone told me Picasso did this. Then I start thinking, did Picasso? It's like, I can't accept the gray areas of life.
I was about to say, your boy Michael wrote a song called Black or White.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, for me, it's just like I decided a long fucking time ago that being talented doesn't make you a good person, you know?
Right. Well, when the thing with Elvis Costello happened, like he was one of my heroes. Did that make you struggle with that at the time?
Well, no, because I became a fan after that happened.
Right. Right.
So it was part of the lore, and it, you know, and it was something that he apologized for, and you know.
The Michael Richards thing seems stranger to me because he really hasn't. Because, like, I believe that Elvis Costello, from what you were saying, was like drunk and trying to cause trouble.
Yeah.
With that Michael Richards thing was a weird riff. You know, like he just seemed like there was a lot of racism, and even if he's not racist, there was something going on.
Yeah, no, what seemed like happened with him was a bunch of racism that was inside of him came out volcanically. And
yes.
And you can't put that lava back in the toothpaste tube, if you pardon the mixed metaphor.
Yeah. I mean, again, you're going to say this is inappropriate, but sometimes I feel bad for him.
Yeah, sure. You know.
He seemed like an unhappy. You see, I saw him before it happened because he was going around to clubs. He was going to the Improv and he'd be on shows, and he refused. You couldn't say he was from Seinfeld. You couldn't even say he was on the show.
Yeah.
And so people were like getting mad because they couldn't promote it at all. But something was going on with him that he was struggling with.
He was, I mean, I only met him once at a party and just sort of observing him at the party. He was not a comfortable man, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I'm a comfortable man. You look at me and you see nothing but
that's
comfort.
coming from me at a party, so.
Hey, Josh, knock, knock.
Who's there? Hang up Joe.
So Carl came and we talked, and I learned that he had written a pilot for himself, that he had been encouraged to think that he could sell a pilot in which he would play the lead. He had written the pilot. He sat at Fire Island. He prepared 13 scripts for a new series to be called Head of the Household or something like that. Yeah. He had made the pilot and it hadn't sold. And since I knew that he was talented, I wondered why it hadn't sold, and I asked if I could see it, and I saw it. He got me a print, and I saw it. And it seemed apparent to me the reason it hadn't sold is because he was miscast. He didn't look or sound like a Scarsdale.
He didn't look or sound like himself.
And the material was so good, the written material was so great that I said, it shouldn't be wasted. Do you mind if I try it again, recast it and try it again? He said, that's fine. Well, the recasting, of course, wound up with Marion with Dick, but his willingness to step aside and let somebody else carry the ball was the reason for the existence of the Van Dyke Show.
Ba-da-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum. Diddly.
May I speak to Mr. Kindlebaum, please?
Yes. Is this the party to whom you're speaking?
Yes, hello.
Who are you, sir or madam?
I'm calling about solar panels.
Oh, what a delight! Oh, you've called at the right time.
Wow.
I'm in the market. I'm in the market.
That was a yes and.
Oh, thank you. Solar panels. I was trying to think of a solar panels joke.
Yeah. Nothing, though.
So I was stalling.
I understand.
Not stall. When in doubt, stall.
How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Good.
I'm pretty good. My voice is
You're
up
talking in a very high voice, so it must be good.
That's what I call my lying register.
Yeah.
The lying register of my voice. No problems. No, I'm okay. I feel good now. I wasn't feeling good earlier, but now I feel good. Maybe it's because I loved the podcast.
It might be it. It might just be your love of the game.
Do you think that we should do what the people say when they say, hey, if you're looking to mobile, you know, they say that? Are you looking, I don't know why they've eliminated the other words that make it an actual sentence.
All right.
So, we look at the podcast? Well, I guess they already do that. Okay. But doesn't that bother you when they go, hey, if you want a mobile, the best way possible, that's creating a new thing.
No,
they want you
but I really believe that I've used you as an example of why,
an idiot?
why I shouldn't let that bother me.
Oh, why?
Just because of the real estate.
The real estate.
Yeah, who needs the brain space to fucking be mad about a fucking mobile commercial?
Oh, I thought you really meant real estate because you know I'm crazy about real estate.
I know you are.
I'm taking a course.
Yes.
Are you looking to refi?
I believe in fractional ownership.
That's a callback, if I ever heard one.
Check out The Fiddling Horse, ladies and gentlemen, available on Amazon Prime and YouTube Movies.
And what's the best way that we do it where we get money, extra money? Or
We don't get money.
Okay, so then but we want to do it now.
No, but you know what? I'm going to take this opportunity to make a plea because my movie, Michael DeBar, Who Do You Want Me to Be, is coming out this week, Friday, July 10th. And
yay!
I am imploring Thought Spiral Land to help support my movie. This is the last bullet in my chamber of product right now, and I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars of my own money on this movie, and I need you to help bail me out. I need you, Thought Spiral listener, Thought Spiral Nation, to help bail me out on this. So watch it. I have complete. I have pride in the movie. I'm not asking you to bail me out because it sucks.
Right. I can vouch for that. It's an excellent movie.
I really think it's a great story. I think it's a great enough story so that if you bought the movie instead of renting it, you'd watch it more than once. But I'm asking you, I'm begging you, I'm imploring you, help me out here because this has been nearly a decade of my life into this albatross.
Well, it can only go up from here. You can't lose any more money now.
No, that's true. That's true. But
so what did they?
Most of all, I'm very excited it's coming out and that you all get to see it. But if you'd like it, tell some people.
Now, are physical copies? No one's doing that anymore.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Okay, but you can own it.
You can own it.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And I plan to.
You don't.
I don't know. Maybe I oversold. I shouldn't have oversold it.
Okay.
You didn't need a phony thing at the end.
I bought your album, but I haven't listened to it.
Oh my God, that is really insulting, and I take offense. No, that sounds very Andy Kindler-like behavior.
I think it's supportive without being fully supportive.
Oh man, this could be but I'm telling you, I told you the theory. It could never be a better time than now for this movie. With COVID hitting the streets, people are looking for something to believe in and something to watch. And
apropos of what we just said, if you can't buy the movie and watch it now, just buy the movie.
Oh. So I don't know why it went like that. Oh. And where is the movie? Tell me again where the movie is going to be available.
The movie is going to be available on Amazon, on Vudu, on all your pay-per-view cable outlets. I just found out it's going to be a couple weeks now behind on iTunes.
Oh, I wonder why that is. Oh, because they pay less. Maybe.
No, I know exactly why it is.
Why don't you tell me then?
Okay. It's because there's a thing called quality control with movies.
Not with comedy, or someone would have taken me down years ago.
Is he right?
Oh, we're on tonight, baby.
So a few weeks ago, like iTunes is quality control is just like everything in the movie is technically fine. The audio doesn't spike anywhere. There's no missing frames, all that shit, and all that, and iTunes is notoriously persnickety about stuff.
Oh.
So a few weeks ago, I get the quality control report for iTunes stuff, or the quality control in general, but iTunes has the strictest standards. And they're telling, this is the report, and there's like 5 or 6 little things wrong, and they fix them, and they charge you to fix them. And, but there was one that was like, the door slam at 120 something, spikes audio. And I was like, the door slam? No, the door slam's no longer there. The door slam I got rid of the door slam when I put Steven Van Zandt into the movie. So it turns out that they had quality control checked the wrong version of the movie.
Wow.
Which, and it was all I got that, but had I not noticed that one little line on the report, the wrong version of the movie would have gone out.
Oh, everybody on iTunes wouldn't have seen.
No, everyone everywhere.
How'd they mix it up?
Well, what happened was, remember that I had delivered it, and then I had to pull it back because I added the Steven Van Zandt thing at the last
that's right.
minute.
Yes, you added.
And then when we sent them the hard drives, it was during the COVID thing, and FedEx didn't actually deliver it, and so it was sitting at a FedEx thing, and they just went ahead and went with the drive they had, and so it was a fucking possible catastrophe that I'm very proud of myself for catching.
Are you saying? Well, let's say in hypothetical land that it hadn't gone out, would you have not been able to then pull it out? It would have been just terrible.
It would have been bad.
If you had to pull it out and then watch it again. Everybody.
So as a result of that, it's going out to all the outlets, but iTunes is backed up, and so it ended up going to the back of the queue for iTunes.
Well, I'll tell you something. The people who are listening to this show, and there are very few. No, the people who listen to the show, I've said it before, but don't just take his word for it. I love the movie, and I don't like you know me. Well, I want to.
This is a guy who loses sleep over bad commercials, people.
That's right. And you know why? Because it steams me.
I know.
When they say that guy with the garden hose from Home Improvement, he's getting on my nerves now. How many garden weasels does he have to endure? Can he do a Joe William? No. What I'm telling people is this is a great movie, and this is a movie that you will be. I'm not saying you'll be stunned into. You won't believe it, but it could change your life in the sense that it really did feed missing pieces into my knowledge of the 60s and the 70s, and then it's a very compelling story. And just because you wrote this out, comma, that doesn't mean I don't believe it, semicolon, and kiss my Havala.
Period.
Is it Havala or Halava?
Are you talking about the Middle Eastern dessert?
Yes.
It's halva.
Hava. Who?
Halva.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize that happened to you. You could take some ointment for that.
Half a mile from the county fair, and the rain came pouring down.
Do.
You want to do some questions?
Yes, but I want to tell you that I'm very excited about this, and not in my fake way.
Well, good. Thank you. I'm very excited. I mean, I'm excited on a lot of levels. I'm excited on finally having it out of my life, which is the most base level.
Yes.
I'm proud of myself for as someone who preaches to young people that they need to finish their projects. I'm proud of myself for finishing this because there's a lot of places along the way I could have bailed.
I know. And I'd like to think that my positive words kept you going.
I think they're part of a collective that kept me going.
Yeah, because everyone loved it. So that part you knew was going to be good.
Yeah, that part made me feel good.
Yeah.
But it has been an unbelievably stressful, long, expensive, challenging journey. But I don't regret making it at all. I've learned more about my craft and myself from this than any other project I've ever done. So.
How about me and you and our projects?
That's less so.
Oh, okay, good.
But less pricey. A lot less pricey.
Oh, man. And there's Michael Day. He's got to be excited about it, too, right?
He's very excited.
Does he know how much money you've spent on the movie?
He knows it's a lot.
Right. He knows you didn't make any money from the movie, right?
Yeah. No, he's very grateful that I did it, and I'm very grateful to him for the story and the fact that, he never saw the movie until it was done. So
I like him. I don't know him, but he definitely has an interest. He has a positive energy to him. Like
he does, and I actually gained positivity from the project because of him. I learned. Part of my setting out to do it was just my interest in how do you manage a 50+ year showbiz career.
Yes.
And it's, the answer is kind of you just keep fucking trudging forward.
Yeah, and I know. Just the whole thing with that movie was like about the fact that he was in so many things. Like he crossed over into so many cultures.
Yeah.
Popular culture, parts of popular culture.
Yeah, you will undoubtedly recognize him from something in the movie.
Yes. I don't know why I wasn't interviewed. I thought I could add a little depth to it, but what are you going to do?
Next time.
Okay.
Sous Vide says, hey, Frank Nelson, has the situation improved? Yes!
Wow. Now, does that mean that we've ended the puzzle?
Huh?
Does that mean that I hope this doesn't mean it's the last week of this.
No. But Frank Nelson's a little off his nut.
Isn't Frank Nelson an actor?
Yes!
And he's that guy who did that voice, right?
Yes.
Now, did he have trouble doing? I mean, that voice was. Oh wait, he was in the Jack Benny thing. That's right.
May I help you?
Yes, that's what he. Oh, that guy's very good.
Yes.
Do you think that maybe though he's good, but there's a little limited what he does? Do you think it's a little like?
No.
So you think it's something that has legs?
Yes.
And will it stand the test of time?
Yes.
And you don't get tired of doing it, do you?
No.
Does it hurt your voice in any way, shape, or form?
All right. Not Tweet Bahara says, I finally figured both Marx Brothers' names for you guys. Josh is Servo, and Andy is Jimmy-O.
Jimmy-O. It took me a second, baby. That would be terrible if I was most known by shopping at Jimmy-O's.
Unless there was an actual endorsement deal involved.
Oh, are you kidding me? Even if it was just for shirts, I'd be all over it.
You had me at J.
Who does a lot of those commercials? That guy, I'll figure it out.
All right.
But he does everyone.
Perush says, come on, Spiralverse, how about that fat Elvis character?
What am I missing?
That was last week. That's why you did fat. That's why you don't remember it.
You did fat Elvis?
Well, you started it by
I don't make
because you had to bug up your ass about the phrase "I got that going for me," and you kept going. I got that going for me. I got that going for me.
Of course, I got that going for me.
Oh, Colonel, I got that going for me. How about that fat Elvis character? How about that? Huh?
How about that fat Elvis?
He's got that going for him. How about that Perush? Huh? He's got that going for him.
How about that Perush?
Not Tweet Bahara says, why was it always winter on Hogan's Heroes? Even Germany has summer. I guess no one wanted to see Sergeant Schultz in his summer uniform. Hey, LeBeau, lose the scarf already. It's 85 degrees out here.
I'm telling you, Not Tweet Bahara is killing it.
He does. He likes to bring it all week. He brings it all week.
He brings it all week, and it's consistent. His material is consistently great. And I think you're
overselling. Honestly, I think
I am overselling. I'm just because I'm hoping not to lose a viewer or something, a listener. I didn't notice it was always winter. I always noticed it was nighttime.
You're both wrong. Okay.
Oh.
You're both remembering the 3 episodes you remember and making generalizations.
I remember every episode. I used to keep. He's a score at home. What did they say? If you're keeping score at home, that was 1 to 5 to 3.
Well, you got that going for you. Oh.
You know what? I'm turned around on that. I'm going to be using not and all kinds of old gems from the past.
Seth Dick III says, how many rodeos before you do reverse mortgage commercials?
What do you mean? How many? Is this not your first rodeo?
You can't do it after your first. We know that much.
I don't know. Here's one thing I wanted to say to you, and I'm sure you don't care, but after watching that commercial, I really think that that he is selling something that's a scam. Because he says it's not a scam so many times. He's
so defensive coming out of the chute. But you feel like it's like a relative questioned his honor or integrity or something. And he was like, I'm not doing another one of these commercials unless I get to say up front that this is real.
Hey, Tom, I saw you on that reverse mortgage commercial. Those are really damaging.
You are ruining Magnum PI's good name.
Look, I'll tell you what it's not. It's not a way to take your home from you, if that's what you're worried about.
Yeah, exactly. It's a loan. Don't you get it? It's a loan. It's a loan, people.
People. And pay it back. Pay it back whenever you want. In short, or all of a sudden when it becomes due.
What am I, Shylock? It's just a loan.
But yeah, who am I? What am I giving you the vig? The vig on it?
Perush is back to say Fat Elvis has the situation improved, asking for a friend. No, really, sous vide. Followed by Sous Vide, who's back to say, hey, Perush, you like being the Carlos Mencia of the best podcast going?
He got him! Boom! Nailed him! Zing! Perush steals. Let's get him. Get him, everybody.
Jason Parton says, guys, great news. We got the green light to do the biopic about your lives. David Lynch has even expressed interest in directing. Bad news is the studio doesn't want you guys to play yourselves.
Oh.
Who would you want to cast to play you in that situation?
Okay, I know who I would like to play me.
Yeah.
I would like to play me. I can't think of his name. He's in that Bobby.
James Mason?
Yeah, I'd like James Mason to play you.
I think James Mason would love to play me, and I believe that he'd do a hell of a job.
And for me, I would go
I'm
with
a Jew from Minnesota. Love me. Oh,
and
God,
with me,
love me. For the love of God, will you please love me?
And I'll go with, I think, Gutenberg.
Steve or the Bible guy? The press.
Who's ever available. Hey, how's it going, Josh? That's me, Steve Gutenberg. Hey, Josh, I'm not in the mood to have a conversation today. I'm Steve Gutenberg.
Get me, I'm Steve Gutenberg.
Hey, I'm Buster Poindexter.
Can't talk, I'm Steve Gutenberg with ice cream.
Yes. Hey, I'm Buster Poindexter. I can't even say his name. I'm Buster Poindexter. I'm not even an original. That's not even my name. What is his name? David Johansen.
That's correct.
Oh, I hurt myself from laughing.
Good. That's the best kind of injury.
Oh.
I'll take good injuries for 300. Greg Kelly is here to say, I've been watching a lot of TCM, and I think your pal's brother mentioned that John Philip Sousa biopic Yankee Doodle Dandy. It's not John Philip Sousa, it's Joe Jump Cohen. Was set to star James Mason, despite being British.
Oh, I didn't see that coming at all.
But, but Mason couldn't sing "You're a Grand Old Flag." Seems unfair. And then he included the lyrics to "Grand Old Flag." So
that's good.
I believe I'm on.
You can't not do it now.
You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true for the red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast or brag. But should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag.
If you had told me that you did that by memory, I think I would have thought you were lying.
Yeah.
Because some of those words I don't know.
Yeah, I think some of them are wrong.
That's okay. Look, we don't ask for everything.
Television Savalas says, mainly for Josh, I just got a 22-inch Weber smoker. What should my debut dish be? Wow. Congratulations. Mazel tov. Use it in good health, first of all.
Is that the same as you have?
No.
Oh.
It's a Weber. I don't know. My brother has been texting me all day with pictures of three briskets he's smoking on a Weber. And why is he smoking 3 briskets, you ask? Because he usually has a 4th of July barbecue, but because of the epidemic, he and his wife have decided that for the 35 people who are usually at his barbecue, they're going to deliver picnic packs with the food.
What is he running for office?
13 houses worth of people.
What is he going to be, the mayor?
I know.
I
mean, my reaction to that, what an asshole.
What is he, raising the bar to an impossible height?
They're doing picnic packs.
To my dear friends, though we cannot all be here together, I have...
You must eat my brisket and chicken and enjoy my beans with love at a safe social distance.
And don't think I'm doing this to make the rest of you feel bad, but clearly that is my intention.
As you lay your head on your pillow, remember you are nothing but a piece of shit.
Have you sent...
Happy 4th!
Happy 4th! Have you sent a close friend of yours picnic basket? That's a very nice thing.
It is nice.
Very, very nice thing.
It is nice, but what an ass.
Is he rich? Was he wealthy? What is the guy?
No, he's rich with he's like George Bailey, the richest man I know.
Let me tell you, you said so quickly that he wasn't rich that I don't believe he has as much money as my brother.
He's not rich like your brother.
He's not, right?
If I'm in trouble, I'm still going to your brother.
And I'd like, once again, to thank Andy Kindler's brother for being there for me. Like my real brother couldn't.
Just having you as an imaginary safety net all these years has made me sleep many a night.
Hey, you know what, Josh? Having a rich brother, not as bad as they said it would be.
No, I know. It has such a bad rap. But...
I know. I think people think they look down on me, but they won't look down on me when I'm wearing a mink stole.
A lot of people will be short-sighted and feel jealous or lesser than.
Right. Not this guy.
They will not play the long game the way my friend Andy Kindler has done.
Yeah, I say to those people, are you an idiot or a moron? Which one? You choose it. You choose it, Brokey. Hey, Brokey, how did that tactic work?
How's that undone dental work doing?
Yeah.
Seth Dick III is back to say, is it true Foster Brooks is in the film version of Hamilton that came out today as of this taping?
Is that true, or is he...
Well, a lot of people don't accept that I was in the room where it happened.
That's all I got.
I don't want you to feel bad, but I did actually start to... That's the first time I spaced out.
That's good. You're doing good. You're on track. Let's keep moving.
That's pretty good for me.
Let's keep moving. D. Style says, you know, the Ebenezer Scrooge style epiphany where a mean, petty person does a strong 180? I think Trump causes the opposite of that. He causes an otherwise normal person to say, you know what? Yeah, fuck everybody else.
I think he is a reverse Scrooge.
Yes.
And
bring me the smallest goose in the window.
I hate everybody, and they did it all in one night. They convinced me all in one night to round up the Jews.
Bung Bahum.
You might be a bit of undigested beef I had for dinner. They used to believe that, I found out.
Yeah, well, it's a good insult, no matter what the context, really.
Yeah. You don't say that to dead Bob Marley.
You once called me an old undigested piece of beef. Well, what are you but a digested piece of beef?
Confused. And by the way, I'm sorry that I called him the ghost Bob Marley. I don't think it's Bob Marley.
No, it's not.
Joke, you were always a good man of business, Bob Marley.
Don't worry about a thing. Jazza McTazza says, have you guys heard of Hot Ones? It's a gimmick interview show which has good questions and a decent host. The gimmick is the interview takes place as you and the host eat ever increasingly spicy wings. Perfect for Spice Lord Andy and Barbecue King Josh.
Is it spicy? It's spicy.
It sounds dangerous. That's all I can say.
I have seen the show, yes.
And is it good?
Well, I mean, you know, there's the added entertainment value of seeing people in pain.
And I guess, Are there some people who are able to defeat the other person for a while? I mean, is it?
Well, it literally is. You go through like 7 or 8 different wings, and each one has a higher Scoville rating.
Man.
And it's like, it starts at above Kindler. So.
Yeah, well, that would. This, I think, has pepper in it.
You didn't tell me there was pepper.
Ow! 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 What's wrong, Andy? Pepper! Pepper!
Jazza McTazza continues with perhaps Doug Benson can be persuaded to bring his patented chili bongside manner along to the Hot Ones shows with you guys. At least he's got that going for him. Does Andy remember saying that? Thanks for the great podcast, guys.
What did I say? Did I say that?
At least he's got that going for him. At least he's got that going for him. No, you didn't remember.
Doug Benson is the only pot addict who seems to be depressed by pot.
Yeah, he gets cranky. It makes him cranky, and it probably makes him not hungry too.
So I should be hosting his show.
Yes, getting a word in edgewise with Andy. Annotated MST says, to Josh, has Andy ever watched any of your classic MST3K episodes, wondering what he would think of a scene such as this? And she included the script to the thing that Trace and I did for Clay and Lair's Flesh Barn, which was a restaurant where the food is not cooked. You pick out your.
It's a flesh
You
barn.
pick out your livestock.
Why wouldn't I love that?
So here's the script is the song was if you're tired of the same old fare, you've got a friend in Clay and Lair. All our meat is guaranteed rare because we don't cook it. You see, cooking takes out all the flavor. If you're tired of cooking at home, try our meat right off the bone. If you listen, you can hear it moan because we don't cook it. Stunned, killed right at your table, eviscerated, very fresh. Now there's no need for you to drive through. Our fresh meat'll walk out to you. You'll say hi. It'll say moo. It's Clay and Lair's Flesh Barn.
You'll say moo. That's great. Now,
I wrote that song. I remember writing it on my Takamine guitar.
Oh, that's so great. I'd say that I wouldn't enjoy these episodes. Now, why haven't I watched all the episodes with you? And I haven't watched much of that show.
Any, really, with me. You haven't watched any with me, specifically.
Wait a second. Let me look at my list of... I think I saw a highlight reel that you showed me once.
I think I showed you something once, yeah.
And I loved it.
Why wouldn't you?
I'm still very, very set.
But it's let me just say for the record, I don't give a shit if you watched MST.
Well, here's the problem.
You are 100% off the hook.
Well, here's the thing. I'm doing a research project about my career, and I'm watching now everything I did from 89 to 93. So you got your Comedy in the Road with John Blair. And now if I get through that and I can watch other stuff, but I'm very, very busy watching myself again. I lied. That was a lie.
Yeah. I just saw a set of myself from 1997 the other day.
Is that what you did you post that?
I just posted a still of it because I was so using the mic stand as a gear shift.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's a classic. It's a classic. Yeah.
It was a comedy magic club in Hermosa, and it was just like I remember now that it was like when I was trying to come back from a fallow period and get my chops back, so it was just a blend of all sorts of shit. It was not a good set.
And people tend to like that club. I used to live near there, and I hated that club. I never did well there, even though people claimed it was an easy club.
I had some good nights there, and I liked that they liked comics there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they always made you feel welcome and gave you a meal. And yeah. But it wasn't a soulful place.
No,
in terms of
that's
the audience.
probably when you're talking about how that's a very good way to describe it, because they're a kind audience, but they're very like suburban.
Yeah.
Could be an hour outside New York.
It is as the kids would say, a honky audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leno's favorite club.
Yeah, exactly. Mark Thompson says, if I misbehaved as a kid, my dad would say, you better shape up, mister, or you'll get a quick kick in the slats.
Oh, I never heard that. I like that.
He never did, so I never knew what my slats really were. Did your folks have any expressions that they always use that you didn't understand?
Oh.
My parents did because they would use Yiddish as code sometimes. So I literally didn't understand it. But I can't really remember any of that.
Well, I can. My father said, loved him, hated her. And for years I didn't know what that was. And it turned out to be a review he read once about a play.
Yeah.
Loved him, hated her. Son of Agin, which was his way of saying son of a gun.
Okay, yeah.
I don't even think I'm warm.
No, I think you are.
What was the, Esau was hairy, Jacob was, how's it going, fella? But that was his probably.
I'm afraid how's it going, fella does not qualify.
No, it doesn't qualify.
That's something you didn't understand.
You're a fair caution. That was him. Well, you're a fair caution.
I'm a kind of blank. But I mean, my dad had plenty of dad shit. But
are the slats underneath the arms? I think, right? Was that what he's going? The slatters, the clatters.
I don't know.
I'll hit you.
It could be the teeth. It could be it could be actual slats, like above the ankle.
Oh, I got one. And then I wrote. He always did that one. And then I wrote.
Wow.
I'm not sure what that was.
Your dad was like the non sequitur king.
He would usually say, wake up in the morning, go, apropos of nothing, good morning, Andy. I think we can move on. I'm very sorry for this part of the show. This part of the show was brought to you by Lowland. Are you having too good a time? Why don't you check out Lowland?
Ease on in to Lowland.
Take a break and let your energy drop a little.
Who needs a head of steam? Richard Cole says, I have a pitch for a hit TV sitcom. Can Andy hook me up with David Letterman and Worldwide Pants?
Absolutely. Should I give him his phone number now on the show? Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
555-555-555. No, I can't. Sometimes I say to myself, boy, I wish I could get in touch with David Letterman, but what would I say? I would be, hi, Dave, I miss you.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I'm sure he'd enjoy that.
Yeah. I'll send a gift basket and I'll make it as needy and desperate as I can.
Maybe send some weird gifts to his kid.
Yeah. Dave, how come, I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but why don't you want to hang out with me?
Stephen Elton Yates says, based on watching about 25 MLB All-Star games, I've concluded the high five came to baseball between July 81 and July 82. Who is your favorite impressionist? Performer, not painter. Follow-up, who's your favorite impressionist painter?
Oh, I got confused by the
that's
first.
That's how he zigs. He zigs when he should be zagging.
He zigs.
Yeah.
So what's the first of the two questions? I forgot.
The two questions is who's your favorite impressionist and who's your favorite impressionist.
Oh, my favorite impression. I think you're my favorite impressionist.
Oh, Andy.
Andy, you son of a god.
That's so nice of you to say. See, I did you.
I like Martin Short a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's more about, I think there's like favorite impressions of people.
Yeah, that's true. What's his name? Kevin Pollak does it great.
Kevin Pollak has some great moves.
Yeah.
And my favorite impressionist is Monet.
Mm-hmm. Do you people like impressionism?
I have to say that J.L. Calvin guy does a pretty fucking good Trump.
Yeah, he is great. He also did a great Louis C.K.
Yes, he did.
He's also very angry, which I really do enjoy.
The guy himself?
He seems that way, but it means like there's a real edge to how much he hates things, which I really love.
Yeah, and well, there's also the fact that he's like a 10-year middle act.
Yeah.
And he's kind of pissed off about that. I heard a little interview with him, and there was a lot of like, I could be it was a little Bud Anderson going on. There's a little bit of, I've got hours of material, but I'm still a feature act.
But let's both stipulate, he's hilarious.
He's super funny, absolutely. Or at least, the impressions that I've seen. I haven't seen his actual, his non-impression stand-up.
Right, and I would like to think that my bitterness and anger has helped me sometimes with my comedy.
Sure. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cast aspersions on J.L. Calvin.
You didn't do anything of the sort. You did nothing of the sort.
But
no reason to.
But he has nailed Trump in a way that no one else has that I've seen.
Yeah, so good.
Adam Nicollet says, millennials are crowding the now open pool at my apartment complex here in Richmond, Virginia. Oddly enough, Dr. Joseph Mengele has arrived after surveying the Confederate monuments that are being removed in town. How would he address this hipster crowd?
He actually got me upset for a second that he was asking a sincere thing about the people in his pool. But then I get the joy of Mengele.
Young ladies and gentlemen, I've been asked to address you by management. I would like to first... Are there any twins here? Are there any twins in the crowd?
So terrible. Now, talking about pools, I do a lot of gene pool studies. Come back to my cave.
I'd like you to form two lines. Blue eyes on the left.
Folks, listen, if there are Holocaust survivors, please don't listen to this episode.
Are there any twins in the crowd? Come on.
Come on, people. Do we have any twins in the crowd? And of course, can you imagine if that's the way that he caught the twins? You'd be kicking yourself. Why did we have to say here?
I've been cruising the pool parties of Austria and Poland for the last 3 years.
He sounds like he's. I don't know. I don't think he would be that. That version of Mengele would be that bad to hang around with for a while.
That's true, but I think you're just confusing my charm with his.
Yes, that's true. Because if I hung out with you and then all of a sudden you tried to kill me, I think differently about you.
Yeah, you might reconsider. But you're so black and white.
I started to dislike Josh after he started to chew on my arm one night.
Maggie, mother of mayhem, says, I don't really have a burning question, more of a request. Would you guys please promise to never stop doing this podcast, ever?
Oh, my God. That is, in a way, the nicest thing that anyone's ever said and the scariest thing. I don't see any reason why we should ever stop. But I think let's say 20 years from now.
Yeah.
If I'm, do they really want to hear mid-80s me?
Yeah, let's go with 7-year contracts.
Because that would be like, John, how you doing, Andy? I don't know, Josh. The pain won't go away in my kidneys.
Should I come over and step on your air hose? Am I right?
Enter!
Ian Thistlethwaite says, hi, Josh and Andy. This week I watched Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans, which was stunning. Are there any silent movies either of you particularly like? Love Thought Spiral and have listened to every show, but this is my first letter to you. Why, welcome aboard, Ian Thistlethwaite, even though you've been aboard the whole time.
Well, that's very nice. I would like to actually have seen a silent movie, which I think I've only seen 1 or 2 in my whole life.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know them. I didn't even know the one that won the Oscar recently. Wasn't there a silent movie a couple of years ago?
Yes, there was. There's that.
Was that good?
I never saw it.
Oh.
There are silent movies I like a lot. There aren't ones that like move me really, but I'm a big Buster Keaton fan. I like The General and Steamboat Bill Jr. a lot, and Sherlock Jr. and I think watching like Battleship Potemkin is interesting just because of how much of modern film was born in that movie, kind of, and I think I saw Nosferatu in a theater once, which was interesting.
Is that kind of scary?
It's kind of scary, but it's so silent movie-ish that it's not that scary,
Yeah. I saw the Charlie Chaplin one where he's doing that trick that they showed recently where it looks like he's going to fall. He's going round and round and round.
Yeah.
Because I just realized, is it called Modern Times?
I don't know the exact gag you're trying to describe, but Modern Times is one of his movies that I like.
Yeah, so I saw that movie, which I did enjoy, and I also saw The Great Dictator, but that's not a silent film.
It's not silent, no.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I like Keaton better than Chaplin just because of the less maudlin feel, but Chaplin.
I've seen the hit scenes from the Keaton things, which I've all loved.
Yeah.
But I would like to see something the whole way through. The Great Train Robbery or something.
The General is the train one.
That's what I meant to admit. Did I say that? I meant the General.
Yeah. Commiss G says, I'm not feeling very patriotic this year. What's the least festive food I can bring to my family's socially distanced 4th of July picnic? I was thinking tuna fish sandwiches.
Yeah. But that might not be bad.
That's not, maybe borscht. Maybe beet borscht. Like a jar of Manischewitz beet borscht.
What is that stuff that has like marshmallow and jello in it?
Like ambrosia?
Yeah.
No, that's kind of appropriate, though.
Yeah, that's true. I think you covered it with borscht.
I think borscht or maybe just cottage cheese in the sun.
Although, when you're talking mayonnaise, you're going in the right direction.
Yeah. Tom Shad says, what are Gregory Peck's and James Mason's thoughts on the metal bands Stormtroopers of Death, Burzum, and Meshuggah?
You don't know those bands, do you?
Well, of course I know the Stormtroopers of Death. I find them a little too edgy, frankly.
Oh, thanks for being frank with me.
Yes, they're a little bit on the... they don't bring the same nuance that Burzum does to the party.
The who?
Burzum.
Oh, yeah. I'm a fan.
What about you, Gregory? Well, I like Stormtroopers of Death old stuff. I can take or leave Burzum, and I have to say Meshuggah is a completely made-up metal band.
I bet that is. Stormtroopers of Death can't be a name of a good band.
Well, like I said, their old stuff was good.
Before they went commercial.
Before the prequels.
Nicely done, Josh.
Thank you, Jew.
What?
No, I mean Andy.
Andy.
Idiot. I'm sorry.
What? The two words are so similar, Andy and idiot.
Dr. Matt Lee says, what is love?
Love is talking to this fucking moron 3 times a week. Am I right?
Love is never having to say you're sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Twitter. I did it. I did it, Josh. I came up with a new joke that's not too bad and it's not too good.
Larry Harold says, gentlemen, 3 days a week feels about right. Meanwhile, I notice you both eschewed my 3 favorite Essa bagel flavors, plain, egg, and cinnamon raisin. What gives? Well, let me just say, Larry Harold, you're wrong about your favorite bagel flavors. You only think they're your favorite. Plain's okay. Plain a little plain.
Plain's okay.
Egg,
I like plain.
Egg's a little too bready. And cinnamon raisin is a crime against bagels.
I agree with you, even though my wife would maybe love the cinnamon, but it's not a bagel. Then if you're going to go that route, why don't you get some toast? I mean, I'm sorry, I'm steamed.
A cinnamon raisin bagel is a muffin with an identity crisis.
Hey, what is that, a scone?
It's a scone with an attitude, yes. It's a scone with a hole in its life.
Hey, look, Choo-Choo. Put a hole in a scone, all of a sudden you got a European bagel, bing bang.
All right, we're going to go for our last question of the night. We're going to go to Jonathan Berman from the mailbag. And he said, maybe this could make its way to air. I don't tweet. Hello, gentlemen. Love the teen casts, especially Josh's sound interstitials. And kudos to Andy for a very funny album. Have I mentioned I bought it, but I haven't listened to it? So have you seen Company, the Penny Baker doc on Stephen Sondheim and the making of the cast album of the show? I think it's called Cast Album or Cast Recording or whatever. But it's on Criterion now. A must-see, 53 minutes. More ascots than Bogdanovich could muster. Might be time to bring back homework. I have seen it. I saw it when it came on to Criterion. And it's really, and it's one of those sort of legendary documentaries that like hasn't been available for a lot of the last, decades. And it's pretty fascinating to watch.
What's the name of it?
It's called, let me see. It's
not Side by Sondheim, right?
No, it's Company. It's Company. It's the cast recording of the Broadway show Company.
Oh, I was in that show in high school.
Really?
I played in the band. Play time for that company. Bobby, Bobby, Bangy. Bobby, are you coming to dinner?
It's called Original Cast Album Company is the name of the doc. And it literally is just that. It's Penny Baker and his crew covering this hours-long recording session for the album version of the Broadway show. And it's really great because there's just all these different tensions going on, and there's just sort of legendary meltdown by Elaine Stritch, and there's
I gave up Criterion too soon. I love this kind of thing.
And there's Stephen Sondheim just sitting there gnashing his teeth as, you can tell that he's just an auteur, these people are fucking up my stuff, and it's, and it's 1970, so it's like it's like all those suits are very much suits still, it's still very square. It still feels like the 60s. So yeah, it's really, if you
I love him too. I love his music. I think he's incredible.
I'm not a big fan, but
that's what I said. He's overrated.
Let me finish.
He's the kind of guy who
No, I'm really
Why
not.
he writes.
I'm really
Why
not
he
a big
writes, I
fan
don't
of
know.
Sondheim, but it's less than an hour, this thing, so it's a really easy and fun watch.
Is he alive? Yeah.
I believe he is, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that is a great recommendation, but I can't get Criterion again because I won't let it go. And I'm thinking, do you have Hulu?
I don't have Hulu.
Okay. I don't know. People seem to enjoy Hulu. Are you going to get the Peacock?
I probably will not get the Peacock.
Well, that was a wonderful last letter because it showed that we have a very sophisticated audience of people who enjoy plays, the Criterion Channel, Sondheim. And I would love to. I cannot wait now. Somehow I'm going to see Elaine Stritch.
Yeah, I think
have a
it's
meltdown.
probably available just as a rental.
Yeah, I'm going to see it. I will get it. Well, I have to say one thing, Josh, Elvis Weinstein.
Wait, don't hang up on me because we have to plug things.
No. I was going to say this was a really before you did that though. It was wonderful. I had a fun time this week. I don't know how it's going to come out, and I don't want to jinx it, but I felt like it was a pleasure all 3 days.
Well, I already edited Monday and Wednesday, so I know how it comes out now.
Is it okay? Is it good?
It's fine, Yeah. Wednesday we were both stressed and depressed, kind of.
That's so funny that I didn't know you were saying that you were gonna. It would be funny if you hung up on me. All I was laughing at was you laughing.
No, I was laughing because of how horrible it would have been if I just hung up on you. So
you need to plug. I want to hear more. I want to hear you plug. I think you got to remind people of the thing. I'll shut up now. Go ahead.
Well, this Friday, my movie, Michael Day Bar, Who Do You Want Me to Be, comes out, and I implore you to check it out. And I want you to check out Andy's album, Hence the Humor, wherever albums are sold. I officially am going to stop plugging Chunks now, because of the movie. And it's been a year. It's been a year almost exactly since it came out. So that's enough. That's enough plugging.
It's still available
It's,
You don't have to have
it's still
him remind
available,
you.
but I won't be mentioning it here any further. And if you want to support our show, go to buymeacoffee.com/thoughtspiral. Buy us some coffee. If you want to support our show on the moral level, go to iTunes. Leave us a really nice review and 5 stars. And if you want to write to us, thoughtspiralshow@gmail.com or thought_spiral at Twitter. And yeah.
I wanted to mention that I do have some road dates coming up. July 33rd to the 30th, I'll be in Trenton at the Trenton Laugh Hole.
At the Laugh Hole.
17,000.
Who books that?
Well, that used to be booked by Tony. I don't know, but all the seats are zip tied.
It's booked by Tony 19.
Tony 19. Yeah. That was the best one when Trump said, "I don't even know they call it COVID-19." Like, that's interesting. Why do they call it that?
Yeah, you're such a fucking moron.
Exactly. Well, I am looking forward to the opening. I am looking forward to the close. I know now, and I want to say right now, you could be hanging up